What's up guys, it's Krykey here, and in today's video we're going to be exploring Predator Yorick. Now you may be asking, why go Predator on Yorick? Yeah, it does sound a bit counterintuitive considering Yorick is a perma side laner, doesn't really join teamfights, doesn't really roam much either. But this is a different playstyle. I like to call this the Chinese Predator strat. Now why did I call this strat Chinese? Well, in a recent Q&A Riot Game has done with content creators, a question was asked, will the damage be toned down in the game? Because as you guys currently know, the meta is high damage early game meta. Riot responsible to that was that the biggest region that plays League of Legends like this meta. And so the biggest region is China, of course.
They talk about it a lot internally apparently within Riot. It's a topic that they're constantly talking about. They know the damage is high. But, and this is where some people may not like the answer, but it is what it is. In essence, regional preferences vary a lot. And they specifically said China loves high aggression, high damage. So in essence, that is why we have a crazy amount of damage in League. And it's why it's not going to go away.
So since the biggest region enjoy the current meta, they have no interest in changing the current early game meta. We know Yorick is best in metas that are mid game to late game oriented. So to adapt to this early game meta, I devised a Predator strat. Now of course this isn't going to be the main rune for Yorick or anything like that, it's more of a fun rune that I'm experimenting on, and I'm choosing it into hard matchups where I don't really bother with laning phase, namely irelia, and I'll explain further what I do with this rune in the post game commentary. If you do enjoy my Yorick videos, I'd appreciate if you leave a like. And if you want to see more of my Yorick content, I do stream hours of Yorick content on my Twitch where I suffer through EUS solo queue. Anyways, let's get to the video. Okay, so we're in the post-game commentary phase of the video. We're playing it against irelia. She's actually a pretty high mastery point already, 2 million points, 2.4 million I think 2 million. But yeah, pretty high mastery. We're playing around 200 to 300 LP masters on EU West. Here's the rune page on the screen right now. I'm still experimenting. I don't really like the Dominion tree to be honest, but yeah, got no choice because that's what rune Predator is on. But yeah, that's the rune page right there. So against irelia, of course, we guys know it's probably the hardest counter against Yorick. People do regard it as the most hardest, not just one of the hardest. So yeah, it's a pretty hard counter matchup. So my intention isn't to play the laning phase, which is why I'm going with the Predator rune. And I'll explain the strat, what I'm gonna do. The first few levels I just stay in laning phase. I mean, that's what you have to do. What else can you do as Yorick? But yeah, she's gonna shove it into you because that's what Irelia players do, of course. Because you know, if they don't shove it, how they gonna stack the Qs? So yeah, they'll shove it automatically. I haven't had a Irelia player not shove it against me, really. And she somehow, yeah, in the early game, there's just no way she doesn't shove because she level 1 she just stacks her Qs, right? So she takes minions down automatically, and you can start E or Q and just sit back. But yeah, not much really to do in laning phase unless they make a really big mistake and try to dive you. Just farm up like I'm doing right now, to be honest, up to like level 4 or 5, and then we'll move on to what we do after that. But yeah, just a typical farming strat. Not much you can do. I should probably skip this part, but I'm probably not going to because I feel like there's important aspects when it comes to wave manipulation. If not, I would skip this part.
From the ground they come, and to it
Here's an example here of her she's gonna push it again. She might not look like she's pushing it. If she's not gonna push it, it's fine, but you know, I can see she's pushing it, so. See that? Every time she Qs, it's gonna push the wave anyways. And plus she's gonna Q to a minion and auto attack you and all that, so yeah, there's no biggie, it's always gonna push towards in the early game. She will freeze it on her side. When that time does come, I'll show you what happens. Yeah, you just play careful. That's what I'm doing here. Play cautious. I know she has no mana, but it's not worth risking it when you're half health and there's a huge flipping wave. Unless my jungler is gonna come and help me, which she's not. I feel like junglers ignore Yorick lane a lot. Lately, I barely get help top lane as a Yorick. It's kind of annoying, but yeah. Again, she's gonna reset. I could stop her from resetting if I know she's gonna reset in that bush. Usually they reset in that bush and you can just E it and stop her from resetting. Probably not going to do it. I probably will do it actually. Yeah, there you go. Pretty obvious. They're always back in there. I don't know. Everyone backs in that bush, unless they play against Yorick often or they played against me a few times. They'll know I'll E it automatically. But every time they love E in that bush. So yeah, I'm gonna have to shove this wave in. Unless she TPs, then I'm kind of screwed. But I'm gonna try to shove this wave in as quick as possible. If she does TP, then we already know that's gonna be by default. She's going to have a free setup, and when she has a free setup, that's your cue to leave because you're doing nothing if she freezes the wave. Yeah, she TP's back in, so yeah, she already has advantage. Right? I can't do much about it. I'm gonna have to reset, and she's gonna freeze it. Now, this is when the Predator kicks in because I'm gonna go ahead and buy boots, and I'm going to do my roaming strats because again, early game meta, I'm gonna have to make plays around the map. Alright, no point staying in lane, especially against Irelia. So we're gonna do our thing and we're gonna roam. When it comes to roaming, first thing I do is look top side and confirm there's a freeze going on. If she shoves it in again, I will go back top lane to catch the wave. If she doesn't shove it in, then yeah, like I said, right now she's just freezing it. See, I'm not gonna go there. If I go there, what's gonna happen? We all know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna die. So let's make a play. I was gonna make a play mid lane, but we just realized that, you know, Katarina got a solo kill. So we're gonna try and make a play bot side, and it's a good counter gank opportunity right here. I'm gonna activate my Predator, and I'm gonna counter gank. See that movement speed? It's pretty awesome. I'm gonna try to pick up the ghost as well, so I can make sure I get all three of them. Get 2 kills here. Try to get the Diego as well. Oh, nice hit from Mortalist. You should be dead now. There you go. Early game meta, don't forget guys, and she's still freezing it by the way, she's wasting her time. I'm gonna go ahead and get the Drake because again, early game meta, I'm gonna help my team out, I'm gonna do stuff around the map. Meanwhile, Irelia can do what she's doing, she can freeze the top lane. Fine by me. I'll catch up on CS later, it's not that bad. As soon as I see a confirmation she's shoving it, like she's doing now, I'm gonna reset and catch the wave. But yeah, she's just freezing it, you know, that's what Irelia, top laners kinda have a prehistoric mindset when it comes to the laning phase in the current meta. Freezing is a good opportunity to deny your lane up, but that's only if to stay in lane, right? I'm not going to be staying in lane if she freezes it. I'll only catch waves when it comes to me, and then I'll go back to roaming with the Predator. The Predator helps me a lot when it comes to roaming because it gives me pretty good movement speed, nice bit of burst damage as well, especially because they buffed it. I forgot what they did to it, but they buffed it pretty well to a point where it's a nice rune set to go. So yeah, again, I see her pushing it in. Usually you can see if they're going to push it in because the caster minions are big on the enemy side. If there's a lot of caster minions, the black minions, it's going to push towards you. So I catch a huge wave. Easy. And I'm going to surf this in and I'm going to make a roam play again. If not, then I'll just stay in lane and catch a few more waves. It's whatevs. But I made a good play already. We already have a pretty high participation going on right now. So she's probably resetting. She might be hiding in that bush there. I'm not too worried because I do have tabbies. I rush tier 2 boots when I go Predator for more movement speed. Again, I see a play that I could make. I'm going to shove the wave in and I'm going to roam. I see Soraka trying to help the mid laner out. And I'm going to try to... I tried, but they all died. Okay, nothing. That's an unsuccessful roam. It was an attempt though. A good attempt, I would say. Anyways, head back to top lane because I feel like Irelia has caught on in my strat and she's shoving it in. Then again, I did play against Irelia a few times now, because the CLO you see a few people a few times. I've been playing against Irelia like 4 times now, and I beat her in 3 of the last 4 games I played against her by just doing what I'm doing right now. I even do it sometimes with Glacial, but I think it's better off doing it with Predator nowadays. But yeah, she just caught onto my strat and she's going to shove it in continuously. Which is fine, I'll just out-shove it and then I'll roam again, which is to the mid lane, possibly bot lane if I have TP. Dodge her E out, I got Predator, don't forget. And of course, if she has full stacks, you don't want to go next to her, unless you're like greatly ahead. I'm not that ahead. I do have 2 kills, but it's Irelia, and I have a full build, full item, so I'm not going to risk it. Again, I can see it's going to be a freeze happening, so I'm not going to waste my time. I'm going to look towards the lane, see what's going to happen. That's going to push in, don't forget guys. The more caster minions on the side, it means it's going to push towards the other side. Anyways, I'm looking for opportunity to TP or help the mid laner out right now. I see a nice little Jhin trap, which means I could TP this, and that's what I do. I'm going to TP and then I'm going to activate Predator, and hopefully we can get some kills. See that Predator movement speed? That's not Ghost, that's Predator. Anyways, oh, Echo kind of died there. We got the Soraka, and she's going to jump over and get killed. Katarina jumps over and kills the Ezreal. Alright, so we'll go back to the top lane again. We made our play. Don't forget, early game meta. We're trying to do it as much impact in the early game so our team gets a big enough lead, or I get a big enough lead to carry the mid game and end it quickly. Because again, it barely gets to late game unless you're playing in super low elo. I don't know, bronze, even bronze games end quick. The meta is generally it's gonna end before 30 minutes, you know. And Yorick shines around the 30-minute mark, so yeah. Anyways, gonna catch the top wave again, and we're gonna push again. I do look like I am behind the CS, but that's fine. Don't worry. Due to this meta, you'd think CSing is important if you want to get the most CS as possible, but no, it's fine because it doesn't get to the late game anyways, where it matters, mid to late game. The game ends is generally dictated in the early game, right? So CSing doesn't matter as long as you can dictate the early game quick enough. We find they're really trying to take the Herald. That was a good catch from Echo, by the way. I should have checked it myself, but very good catch from Echo, and he's probably going to kill the Irelia, which is perfect. Alright. Irelia is making desperation plays here because she's realizing I'm perma roaming, so she's thinking to herself, let me get the Herald and just shove in the top tower, which I should have thought as well. Could have stopped her, but Echo made the play for me, which is fine. And then we're going to get free tower as well. Yes, see how there's still fights going on. It's always hectic. Every elo I've played in, it's just hectic kills. It's kind of funny the meta currently. It's not good for Yorick, I'd say, because you want strategic plays in the early game. You don't want people dying continuously, otherwise you kind of, you know, fall behind. But if we get free towers, we're gonna back and we're gonna get some items. Try and make some plays yet again. This is good for us. 2 towers are down, so it's a lot of free time for me. Oh, I really want to kill my maiden, I see. You see Annie overpush, activate Predator, and then we're going to go and kill the Annie. If Echo she flashes, I can chase her, because I have Ghost as well. So yeah, again, we kill the Annie. See how active I am in Predator? I don't stay in any phase. You're not meant to stay in any phase if you're going Predator. You have to be proactive continuously if you're playing Predator Yorick. It's a very unique playstyle. You have to get used to it. I wouldn't advise you to pick this instantly and first time in ranked. You're gonna have to try a few times in normal. So you need decent macro knowledge as well to know when to roam, how to roam, and how to execute overall roams, successful roams. Because obviously I saw opportunities and I capitalize through macro knowledge. Again, gonna pick up the top wave. I see Nautilus coming, so that means 1v2 situation. I do have Titanic Hydra, so I can win this with Nautilus, of course. Do the usual dashing. We'll just wait until Nautilus stuns and we land the E. Should be a free kill. Now I've got a pretty big lead, so good thumbs up for a good run from Nautilus. We got a pretty big lead now. What has Irelia done? She's got a 60 CS on top of me, but who cares? I've been impacting the map and she's done nothing, so yeah, this is why Predator kind of shines in matchups where you ignore the laning phase, like Irelia. To be fair, I don't really know any other lanes where I ignore it completely apart from Irelia lane. So this is why I solely run the Predator strat in the Irelia lane. By the way, this is like Chinese Super Server level team fighting. Like this happens in. I've been watching Chinese Super Server last season because was it last season? Yeah, last season Worlds. It was in the Chinese Super in China, right? So all the pro players were playing in Chinese Super Server. I was spectating it. And this is how they played. Just constant active fighting. We see the Irelia TP, so I'm just going to take the tower. Punish it, obviously. I can't follow the roam. It's kind of stupid. The team fight is already over, so I'm going to go ahead and get the tower. And hopefully I can get it in time. Since I do have Demolish, I should be able to get quick enough. And I'd have 24 stacks on towers, which I should be able to get. Sundra is a bad purchase in my opinion because you don't get the movement speed. It's not good for skirmishing. Because Trinity Force is good for prolonged fight. Sundra is just one big bonk and that's it, just surviving. I kind of like Sundra. I really don't like Sundra. Can't tell by now. I build Trinity Force in every game, even against tanks. Sundra is a bit of an overbought item for Yorick. Anyways, I'm making a run for it because I just realized I'm getting chased by 3 people and we get away with it because my rune set. I went with movement speed. Like I said, the rune set is perfect for roaming. Predator, I forgot the thing that gives you movement speed, but more takedowns equal more movement speed. Out of combat movement speed. Solely for all roams, basically. I don't really pick anything else. Could go Ultimate Hunter for cooldown reduction, but I don't need that. Like I said, I'm just here for the roaming. It does look terrible in terms of CSing, but we don't care about CSing. Not with this strat. CSing is a second thought to me. I'll just roam. Yeah, if you CS like Irelia, cool. You got a decent CS, but who cares? Alright, your team's gonna be losing. Because you're not doing anything, and I'm trying to make plays here. I think this is why Shen's win rate is pretty high, even though it's not tank meta, because he's perfect for this type of playstyle of just roaming and ignoring top lane and not getting much CS specifically because he's a tank. But like I said, just because your CS is a 5 second fall, it doesn't mean you ignore free waves. If you're shoving it in with a big wave, just catch it and make your roams. You don't want to be leaving big waves behind for no reason. Because if you keep missing waves, you're going to miss XP and you're going to fall way too behind. This is why I said you need some experience doing this, because if you don't have the macro knowledge, you're going to be really behind in XP with this playstyle. So that's why I don't advise beginners to try this first time in ranked. I see everybody of roaming, and I'm going to follow that play because I'm a roamer as well, roaming Yorick. Look, you call it River Yorick. But my team is pretty ahead now, considering the amount of early game pressure we've applied. So I'm not really needed. And at this point, I feel like the game is pretty much sealed. The fate is done. And I think I contributed pretty big to this victory. Inevitable victory, we should say. Because I participated in a lot of the kills. As a Yorick. And so we're going to use your... Now in the... Oh wait, she's engaging. Predator. Always activate your Predator before going to a fight, get exhausted. Pretty pointless exhaust. Predator Ghost is such a nice combo. Like I use the Predator, it's run out, you just activate Ghost. You can use both at the same time, and you get even extra movement speed. It's a bit mad. I love it. I love going Ghost every game. Especially Predator, man. Very, very nice synergy. Anyway, we picked up 2 kills there, and just gonna farm. Got nothing else to do in the map right now. Can't get it in here because I'm not quick enough, they're gonna spawn. So we just farm. Always look for stuff to do in the map. Echo is doing Herald. If he wasn't doing Herald, yes, I would have done it, but since he's doing it, there's no point being there, alright, because he's doing it. It's confirmed. You want to be doing something else. It's similar to jungle, Drake. If there's 3 people, 2 people doing Drake, there's no point of you doing it as well, unless you need to rush it quickly. You might as well do something else across the map, which is what I did there. I bought Sterax instead of Hullbreaker because, like I said, this playstyle was all about roaming, like I'm doing right now. So Hullbreaker is pretty useless with this strat. Ooh, that was a nice flash from Annie. But yeah, we're really fed right now. You just see the constant fighting, the constant battles. Not gonna lie, this meta is pretty fun, but not the best, like I said, for Yorick. But it's a fun meta. The constant fighting is fun. It is pretty coin flippy, but it's fun. Which is why, yeah, why people like playing this meta. I'm not gonna say it's a boring meta. Tank meta isn't exactly fun for the majority of people. Fun for me, because I play Yorick. But majority of people don't like the tank meta. This is the meta people enjoy. Which is why I think Riot won't be changing anytime soon as well.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
But the game is pretty much over, so we're just gonna basically end the game, you know. Not a drill, the game's over at 18 minutes early game for the win. So we're just gonna push in and pretty much end the game. I'm pretty sure this game ends within a few minutes anyways. But whilst this is happening, we'll just commentate what's happening right now. I still don't want to fight, really, you know. There's no point. It's always risky to fight against Irelia Bork. But you can probably fight if you want, but there's no point, literally no point. There's no reason to. They have Soraka up, 3 years old, they could literally come and kill you. It's a huge wave. There's no point doing risky plays when you're ahead. Unless if I was behind, yeah, I would have went for that play to get a lead, but once you're ahead and you have 700 gold, what's the point of doing risky plays? You shouldn't give away your bounty. So yeah, I didn't bother fighting it there. We're building Grudge third. I love building Grudge. Usually my build path is Trinity Force, Hullbreaker or Sterax. And then the third item is usually Grudge or Titanic Hydra. And then the fourth item is Titanic Hydra or Grudge, depending on what I built third. So the overall build will be Trinity Force, Hullbreaker, Grudge, Titanic, for example. I've been doing that pretty much basically every game. And then the fifth item could be whatever's needed. You might need Spirit Visage. In this game I would probably need Spirit Visage. You might need to go extra movement speed. I think I've got enough movement speed. You might need to build more damage, or you might need damage and survivability. You could go Guardian Angel as well for your fifth item. But yeah, it's all basically based on scenario, the situation. But the first, second, third, fourth is always the same order, which I just explained. I pinged the Echo Herald because I think he forgot about it. But yeah, we're gonna go because we see the Silas, the Viego moving. I missed my E because they got me, I guess. But we can see a fight being set up. Focus the Soraka, obviously, because Soraka does all the healing. No one likes Soraka. I don't have Executioners, by the way. There's no point of thinking about Executioners when the game is pretty much too quick to even think about. But yeah, if it was a more slow game pace, I would have built Executioners 100%. Probably fourth back after a few backs I'd build it. Maybe even second back to be fair, because I would actually be in a lane phase. But yeah, we're ending the game. 21-minute game, I'm pretty sure. We end in 21 minutes. Yeah, I mean, we could end it in 21 minutes. I've got 2 items. The game's pretty much over. But yeah, hope I explained the Predator strat. I am not responsible if you do lose LP. I suggest you try this out a few times in normal games before you try out in rank. But I feel like it's a pretty nice strat, so give it a go, let me know how it goes. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe for more knowledgeable content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
We shall prevail. We have eternity.